Patriots Steelers. This one's going to be fun to talk about. We're in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I don't even want to say the name of the stadium. It sucks. 78 Fahrenheit.
I can't. I can never remember. I'm just going to call it Heinz. That's fine.
Yeah, man. I don't even want to. Yeah, 78 Fahrenheit, mostly sunny. It's just gorgeous all across the Eastern Seaboard. It's gorgeous all over. It's gorgeous all over America this weekend. Let's go to the line history of this one, and so many moving parts. And I was so excited. I enjoyed capping this game and sitting there staring at it. I am looking forward to when we have some buys and we can really kind of deep dive in some of these games. Take a little more time, because we got to move quickly here. It opened up as a pick'em. Yesterday at Pinnacle, and it is now the Patriots -1 and -111. From a totals perspective, it opened heavily juiced to the over at 40, -115. It's now -110. So there's been a 5-cent move to the under. So we have a small move to a move to the under and a move to the Patriots. Let's see if the cash correlates with that. 10,819 tickets in. 33% of the tickets and 56% of the cash is on the Patriots. Then you have 69% of the tickets and 94% of the cash on the under. That is an enormous amount of money to have on the under with only 5% move in that direction. Patriots looked awful in week one. I was so thankful that the move went from 3.5 to 3 on Sunday before kickoff, because that's the only reason why I moved on the Dolphins. I felt like I'd missed a line, and I took advantage of it. All week I had the Patriots team total under, and that was just me just pointing and laughing at Patricia and Joe Judge. They, obviously this offense is going to take a step backwards, regardless of Mac Jones improving. Now he's also dealing with this back injury. So it's not considered major, but his status right now is uncertain, but he's being bet as if he's going to play. Obviously, Jacoby Myers led receivers with 4 catches for 55 yards. Damian Harris ran 9 times for 48 yards. The defense looked strong. 3 sacks on Tua. They hit him 7 times. Held the Dolphins to just 65 yards rushing on 23 carries. Now it's been a few years of the Dolphins not being able to move the ball on the ground. Adrian Phillips left the game with a rib injury in the second quarter, and they put Ty Montgomery on IR with a knee injury today. Steelers coming off a big season-opening 23-20 overtime win over the Bengals. It's just, one of the wildest games I've ever seen. It was extremely fun to watch. It was overshadowed a bit by reigning Defensive Player of the Year TJ Watt suffering the pectoral injury, tied the NFL single-season sacks record with 22.5 despite missing 2 games last year. He will supposedly, or at this point, avoid surgery, expected to miss just 6 weeks. We will see. And they're really thin at outside linebacker. So Alex Highsmith also left the game with an injury. I mean, he's the only other outside linebacker on the roster that has spent extended time in Pittsburgh. They picked up Malik Reed in a trade with Denver last month. They claimed Jameer Jones off waivers on September 1st after he was released by Jacksonville. Trubisky was 21 of 38 for 194 yards and a touchdown, no picks. Freiermuth caught 5 passes for 55 yards. Deontay Johnson caught 7 passes for 55 yards, some just spectacular. And then Najee Harris hurt his foot and will miss time. He had an off game too. 10 carries, 23 yards, 2 catches, 3 yards, got the TD. Jaylen Warren had a great training camp, so we'll see. We'll see what he does. But Chase Claypool led the rushing attack. Minka Fitzpatrick was all over the field. What a beast. 14 tackles, a pick, returned at 31 yards for a touchdown, 4 interceptions. Cam Sutton, TJ Watt, Ahkello Witherspoon. They sacked Burrow 7 times, hit him 11 times, 5 turnovers and 4 picks, but they were out-yarded 432, 267. God, I can't wait to hear your breakdown, and I can't wait to hear what the chat's doing, and I'll try to get as much as I can highlighted in our chat as we do it. Take it away here, Andy. I love this game.
Yeah, this could be a fun, ugly game, I guess. Both of the teams surprised me in different ways last week. Really, the Steelers had to have a game where it was probably Joe Burrow's worst game. Tons of turnovers. You needed a defensive touchdown. You needed overtime. You needed missed field goals. It feels like they stole one. They stole one against a very good team. They ended up in a tough divisional game, and they got it done in weird ways because Trubisky wasn't great. There's a lot of Deontay Johnson. So now you have your defensive player of the year is out. I know it's great that he didn't tear the tendon. He's not going to miss extended time, but he's gone. Najee Harris says he's going to play, but so did J.K. Dobbins. What they say doesn't matter. That's a coach's and the team doctor's decision. If he does play, it's a banged up starting running back here. And the New England Patriots, I kind of shat on Baltimore quite a bit for having a really, really bad receiver room. This might be truly the worst receiver room in the league. They have a lot of just that guys. And Jacoby Myers had a couple of nice catches. Who had the touchdown? Ty Montgomery. But this offense really stuck in mud. The experiment of who's calling plays out there is not working. They're going up against maybe a better defense, even without TJ Watt. There's flash pieces out. Minka Fitzpatrick's amazing. So this is ugly. And I hate doing this when they're so low, but man, I'm gonna take it under. I like both defenses. I hate both offenses. Pittsburgh, not all that likely to score a defensive touchdown and get into overtime last week, or get into overtime every week. And the Patriots offense, I didn't see any hope for that. If he's Mac Jones is banged up, that's not good. Brian Hoyer, that's even worse. I doubt they start Zappy. It would be Hoyer if Mac Jones can't go. Sounds like he's going, but yeah, this is under 40. We're gonna need every touchdown's gonna sting extra hard because you don't need that many to get to 40. But I will be playing under 40
here. Yeah. I want to move on the Patriots here. I want to, but Mac Jones's back injury is enough at this point to keep me off. The under 40 at minus 104. I understand this look as well. Andy moving on the under 40 at minus 1.
I wanted to fade both teams, and sometimes it's like, oh shit, they're playing each other. So yeah, Pittsburgh, I believe, very fortunate kind of game as it turned out. TJ Watt was a big part of that game too. Some of the freak things he did before he was out. I think it's going to be tough to repeat that kind of performance week in, week out. I think this could be a real ugly one. Hopefully we get some weather. Like, let's put some weather on top of this one too.
It looks like it's going to be gorgeous though. Arthur looking at Pittsburgh team total under. I find the problem with picking one of these teams to go under is that there's really no favorite. I mean, there's such a lukewarm favorite that I think it's best to use both. Yeah, I mean, if I forced you to bet a side right now, I gave you a $500 free bet on a side at the, let's see, what is the money line here? It's with the Patriots at minus 116 and the Steelers at plus 102, what would you bet?
I'd take Steelers straight up. And I wouldn't be excited. And I think they have God, did you see that? I mean, just nothing was working. And like somebody pointed out, they did get across the 50, but it's just like the offense would just get stuck in the mud so often. They're not calling the play sequencing, the play calling. I went back and checked out part of this. It just they need an offensive coordinator because they're not devoid of talent, but they need an actual offensive coordinator. So, and yeah, maybe Pittsburgh getting the weather we're getting if it's going to be beautiful. I would love it if it rained or had some wind. Actually, rain, I worry, sometimes helps an over defenders slipping and whatnot. You get some freak plays, but let's kick the wind up in the what do we call it? The Steel City.
Okay, well,
I can't take either of these teams.
God, okay. I kind of, after talking about it, I agree with Dennis's look more really than anything else. I do think that after the Steelers beat the Bengals in Cincinnati and get lucky doing it and turn the ball over all the time and then go in without TJ Watt, we know the issues they're going to have at outside linebacker. We know that Belichick should be able to exploit those, even if we don't trust Patricia or Judge. I feel like you take TJ Watt out, and I think the Patriots are possibly worth a bet here. And when I'm sitting here, I'm looking at the sharps on them. 33% of tickets, 56% of the cash. This is the first spot on the board where my feeling is correlated with where the big bets are coming, and it makes me want to move on. Trey Franklin, thank you. Says, yo, Jimmy and Andy collab. This is what I need. Says, love what both of you guys do. Thank you, Trey, for the kind words. I love working with Andy, and everybody's running so nice. Just don't want it to end. Okay, I might take the question marks off of the Patriots here, and I think I may move on them, but we'll keep moving.